All right, let's just get right into it. Have you ever wondered what actually goes on inside the black box of a modern digital marketing firm? Today, in this explainer, we're going to dissect a massive corporate service catalog to understand the true anatomy of an SEO agency. Specifically, we're taking a look behind the scenes of a company called First Page Ranks. We're going to completely break down their offerings to see exactly how the internet is shaped and, well, optimized. Because search engine optimization can be incredibly dense, I've laid out a clear roadmap for us. First, we'll meet First Page Ranks, then cover the white hat philosophy, the core pillars of SEO, specialized extensions, and finally, we'll break down the actual costs.
Okay, Section 1. Meet First Page Ranks, expanding the digital footprint. To start, they're Pune-based agency in India promising result-driven digital growth and page 1 rankings for all sizes of businesses. But take a look at this number, 30. That represents the sheer volume of Indian states and regions they aggressively target. And it's not just domestic either. They're casting their net internationally into regions like Dubai and Canada. So while they operate out of Pune, they are actively capturing highly localized search intent all over the globe.
Moving right along to Section 2, the white hat philosophy, ethics in optimization. Before we get into the heavy technical stuff, we absolutely have to talk about the core ethics driving their operations. They heavily emphasize white hat SEO. And you probably know the drill here. It essentially means playing by Google's rules. Instead of trying to trick the algorithm, it's about ethical, sustainable strategies that improve rankings naturally by focusing on a genuinely great user experience. It's a classic trade-off, right? You've got sustainable growth built on relevance and trust signals on one side versus short-term spikes driven by manipulation on the other. They actively avoid outdated shortcuts because, frankly, those risky tactics might give you a temporary boost, but they'll inevitably lead to a massive penalty. Their focus is completely on predictable, long-term credibility.
Which brings us to Section 3, the core pillars of SEO, building the foundation.
So how do they actually chunk their massive list of microservices? It all comes down to 3 structured pillars. Pillar 1 is on-page SEO. This is the stuff your users actually see and interact with. We're talking meta titles, structuring header tags, and natural keyword placement. But they also implement schema markup, which is basically a layer of hidden code that feeds direct answers straight to Google. The goal? Making sure the search engine instantly understands what the page is about.
Then we have Pillar 2, off-page SEO. This takes the battle away from your website and out to the broader internet. Think of it as a massive digital popularity contest. Through high-quality backlink building, guest posting, brand mentions, and digital PR, you're getting reputable sites to vouch for you. The more high-quality sites that link back to you, the more Google trusts you.
And finally, Pillar 3 is technical SEO, the behind-the-scenes plumbing. Honestly, you could have the best content in the world, but if a search bot hits a 404 roadblock, you are completely invisible. This pillar is all about crawlability, fast page speeds, secure HTTPS connections, and fixing broken links. It's removing any friction so search bots can just easily read your site.
Let's jump to Section 4, specialized SEO and extensions, beyond the basics. Once those 3 core pillars are set, an agency deploys specialized playbooks. For instance, if you're a brick-and-mortar store, they run a local SEO strategy to dominate Google Maps. This means claiming your Google business profile, making sure your name, address, and phone number, your NAP, are perfectly consistent everywhere, managing customer reviews, and building geo-targeted backlinks to drive actual foot traffic.
But if you run an online store, that's a totally different beast. E-commerce SEO shifts the goal to optimizing individual product pages, massive category lists, and complex shopping funnels. Using structured data to highlight prices and reviews right in the search results catches consumers exactly when their wallets are out and they're ready to buy. And they don't just stop at Google. Today, the line between traditional search and social media is totally blurred. Platforms like YouTube, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Facebook, and Instagram are massive search engines in their own right. Each one requires a completely distinct keyword strategy and profile structuring to make sure your content is highly visible natively within those apps.
All right, the final stretch, Section 5, breaking down the costs, the SEO growth engine.
We've talked a lot of theory, but let's talk money. This pricing table shows exactly how an agency monetizes its time and expertise. A foundational task like keyword research runs about 4,900 rupees.
But the heavy lifting, those ongoing retainers for local SEO, technical SEO, and link building, sit right around the 8,000 to 10,000 rupee mark every single month.
You can really see the massive jump in value based on complexity here. You start at 4,000 rupees for basic brand-safe social bookmarking, step up to 9,800 for the heavy engineering of technical SEO, and then boom, up to 19,500 rupees for digital PR services. Reaching out to journalists and securing enterprise-level media mentions is incredibly manual and relies on established relationships, which is exactly why it commands such a premium.
But here's the real kicker: SEO penalty recovery. Think of this as a digital biohazard cleanup crew. Costing up to 135,000 rupees a year, it proves that trying to cheat the algorithm with toxic tactics is incredibly expensive to fix later. Hiring experts to clean up a penalized or de-indexed site costs way more than just doing it right the first time. Ultimately, everything we've explored today across all these pillars boils down to one guiding truth from their own documentation. Search engines reward clarity, relevance, and value, which remains central to every optimization effort delivered. It's a great reminder that good SEO is really about serving human beings, not just algorithms. Which leaves us with a final question to reflect on regarding your own website. Is your current digital footprint built for short-term spikes, or is it built for sustainable, long-term growth? I hope dissecting this agency's catalog gave you a really solid understanding of the modern SEO ecosystem. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.